Afternoon. I'm Lance Hanson, and this is Real Estate with RE/MAX. As always, Alma's here with us. Alma's my co-host. We're going to change, though, because we want to use Alma's real name. And her real name is Alma. Well, it's your married name. It's not real name. It's your married name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have used Domazet because that's high school and friends and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so,
actually,
and this is going to be
recently. I have been Domazet.
okay.
So
for whatever reason, we're changing Alma's name, and it's Skaljic, right? Skaljic?
No, Skaljic.
Excuse me?
Skaljic.
Okay, Scott. Yeah, like she said.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Alma, as always, good to have you. And after a month or two, I'll get that all figured out.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of special guests here today. Mm-hmm. We have Otis Skaljic.
Mm-hmm. Dear God.
Who is Alma's husband, and he's in today, and we're going to spend a little time talking about some of the dynamics of partnering in real estate, and that's all kinds of crazy stuff. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we have our ever lovely guest, who we ask on as often as we possibly can, just to make the show more fun. And that's Inga Brown.
There's no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure behind that
Right.
as to if anything's going to happen today.
So Inga's here today. So what we're going to do, take a short break, and we're going to thank a few sponsors, and then we'll be right back and get into all of this fun. See you in a few. Hey, welcome back. Again, I'm Lance Hanson. This is Real Estate with RE/MAX, along with Alma Skaljic. Close enough? I'm working on it. And today we got some things we're going to talk about. There's a few things that we'll get into probably after this second segment that we do. But right now we're going to talk a little bit about Alma's been joined in the business with her husband Otis, and it's interesting. Otis, welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you down on the show, and we've talked before, but this is a new and different thing.
Yes, it is.
And it's part of the same thing that I think Alma's gone through. Is this kind of makes you get out of your comfort zone just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
To come on the air and talk, and so it's helpful, but you've been in the business now. You've been licensed.
Maybe 20 days, 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And kind of hit the ground running. I'm sure that was because Alma was there and had everything all set up for you.
Yeah.
It's all her.
But what's kind of the direction of your business when you guys think about business? Do you have the business plan of when you want to work in specific ranges or with specific people? Is it a investor that you're most comfortable with? What kind of direction are you thinking?
Well, for now it's pretty much whatever comes first.
Goes, yeah.
But later on, I might be focusing only on buyer's agent. See how it goes.
Yeah, and then Alma, have you do the listing agent thing, or is that going to be your gig?
Maybe. I like doing anything really. So
Yeah.
buying or listing, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
Just like
right,
you said, for right now, we're kind of basically taking on anything.
yeah.
Yep.
So
It's like we're something to put something together and make it work because you know that it's the first well at least the first 6 months, Inga.
You know, you and I both had business partners. You currently have a business
I do.
partner. And
I
I've
do.
had,
I have a part-time business partner.
you have a part-time.
Yes.
I had
Yes.
2 full-time business partners over the last 6 years who were not related to me, contrary to you. And my husband actually at the time actually had worked for me, and it took me about 3 months to fire him. So I hope that doesn't happen in your case. He
I
wasn't
hope not.
licensed though, so we figured that
Honest
that's the
is like,
excuse.
great.
Yeah,
So
he's
I'm
like,
my
yeah,
head's
he's just
on
gonna
the
fire
on my
me.
own.
No, I think that working with a partner is a very unique experience. It's so much further than being an entity of your own, working on your own, and you are responsible to yourself. And now as a partner, suddenly you're responsible to each other. And this is, I mean, 20 days, that's pretty new. The advantage, let me just give a pitch for Otis here. The advantage of having a brand new agent as your representative is they know the law. You know the law, you know the things that should be done, how they should be done, and they're very eager and they're very they really grasp what needs to be done. And I think that's something that sometimes more experienced agents tend to forget. And so I think that the time and the personal expertise is phenomenal. So this is going to be really, I'm excited for you guys. I think this will be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I really am.
Just let the business flow, and you know, obviously you've got a lot of work ahead as far as contacts and setting up your contact system and letting people know what's going on, and we're out there and
Absolutely.
we're ready to help, and open houses and all these different things that happen.
ever since we
so-
joined, though, Remax has. I mean, you guys have been awesome. I email you with the randomest questions, and
I
I
love
feel like you
Alma's
should know what I'm
emails.
asking you.
I do actually know. And in fact, the answer to your last question is 43. Just yeah.
Okay.
Just in case you need to know.
So is that the questions that then you email me and ask
Yes,
me what
yes,
and I'm
yes.
like, what
Actually-
is this?
Actually, those are them, yes.
Those are it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
cool. Well, cool. I'll tell you, I want to talk, a little bit more about this. We got a couple other items, but I want to get through a video that we did, and it came out. We actually debuted that video at our breakfast on Tuesday.
And I was so sorry to miss that, but I did get to see it.
You did see the video.
It is the most phenomenal,
It's a great video.
heartfelt,
Wasn't it awesome?
honest video that there is.
Yeah.
And I am
Michael
so...
Libby was great.
Oh, he's
Hilarious.
Funny. Isn't he funny?
I'm
Yeah.
so excited to be a part of this company because of that.
Yeah. So, Max, are you okay to cue up that video? Okay, we're going to go to this video. It's a combination. It's kind of a recruiting video, but it's also an explanation of who our leader of our company is, and that's Rob Spearman. And all of the people wanted to say something to and about Rob, and there was never any good format to be able to do that in. So what we did was we put together a video, and with Max's help and hours of time with Max, we came up with this video. So I want you to watch it, enjoy, and we'll be back. It takes a little while, but we'll be back in a few.
guidance and his wisdom. He has helped our entire organization grow by sharing his ideas and knowledge, a living, breathing example of RE/MAX premier market presence. Some say if you were to cut Rob, he would literally bleed red, white, and blue. Rob, on behalf of everyone here at RE/MAX World Headquarters, thank you so much for all you do, and congratulations.
I've known Rob for a number of years. I was always waiting for him to give me a call to say, Steve, come on over to my company. He finally did it. I was pretty happy. One day he called and asked me to go to lunch. I said, sure, I'd be happy to. What a professional guy he is. He had a contract ready for me, well, kind of ready for me. Here's the contract. He grabbed a napkin from the restaurant and wrote it up. I was really impressed. Quite a guy.
Rob was a patron at a little Italian restaurant I was working at about 18 years old. I probably looked about 12. But at the time, my cousin owned the restaurant, and Rob would come in frequently, and I knew Rob as a real estate agent for ERA. So, being that real estate was one of my goals and wanting to buy properties, I decided to get my license, and I can never forget studying for this test back while I'm cooking and in between shifts. And finally, I passed the test. I think it took me 2 or 3 times at 18 years old. And I run outside, and I'm like, Rob, I got my license, I got my license. And he looked at me with the strangest look like, I thought you were already 16 and could drive. And I remember to laugh. I said, no, Rob, I got my real estate license. And ever since then, Rob has been trying to recruit me.
Rob's always trying to get me to do a special handshake that he does that I can't do it. And I know it ends with something to do with the Cubs. And it's not something I'm able to do. I'm not into your sport, Rob, and I know I've taught you a little bit about soccer, but so far you've not taught me anything about American football.
Yeah, it's an opportunity that I get to thank Rob for how he's impacted me both professionally and personally. You know, it was Rob Spearman, ladies and gentlemen, that picked me up as a small baby out of the orphanage at Father Flanagan's. Oh, no, wait a minute, that wasn't Rob.
Rob has opened up opportunities to me that weren't available in my previous real estate brokerage.
It took Rob 3 years. I fought him off. And finally, I decided to come to RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts. And now I can tell you that it's the best single decision I've made in a 24-year career. See, RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts is just different. And the difference is Rob Spearman. He is the most selfless individual I've ever met in my life.
I was born a poor white child in Detroit, and Rob taught me how to read and write. And no, it wasn't that either.
When I first met Rob, that I kind of got the impression that he was too good to be true. He told me I felt like what I wanted to hear to get me to come to Real Estate Concepts, but as I got to know him and know his personality, you could see that really isn't just a front that he puts on to get you to come, that's truly the Rob Spearman. He considers you part of his family. He'll do anything to help you. He'd drop everything to help your business, and that's just not a front to get you to come. It's truly Rob.
Rob is just so supportive in everything that you do, and he always has such great ideas, and he really does treat the agents like his client.
Basically, he's the same way since day one of when I met Rob. He's still that same genuine, caring, passionate person that I met.
He's true to his words. He always says the agents are his clients, and I believe he lives by that daily. People always ask me, is Rob Spearman, is he really this happy all the time? And quite frankly, the truth is, yes, he is. He's always upbeat, positive guy.
His friendship has always meant a lot to me. I've seen him grow so much over the years, and I admire him so much for his passion for this business, the passion for the company, his ability to listen. He's one of the best listeners that I've ever been around.
Rob cares greatly about our agents and staff, and he constantly reminds us of how much he appreciates us and the success of RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts.
Rob, I want to thank you for impacting my business. You've done such a great job. I think the last count, you purchased 4 million doorknobs from us, and that was really, that's not...
If you ever just want to feel good about yourself. He always has really positive things to say about you.
He's really opened up the door and allowed me to reach my dreams and my goals.
Rob's attitude is fantastic. He loves us, the agents. We love him back. He's there for us. He'll do anything for us, almost.
I truly thank you, and I truly believe that you are an integral part of the growth that I've experienced over the last few years. And so for me to you, Rob, thank you very much.
Rob, I'll get it. Hold on.
The one thing that really threw me off was about a cat. He got a cat, and he always gave me a hard time about having a dog, and now he talks about his cat.
A truly better man for no one, Rob. He's given me all the confidence in the world to be a good broker and a good manager.
Not only am I a better realtor, but I'm also a better person for knowing Rob Spearman.
I've never seen him not want to help somebody. He's always trying to improve agents at the workplace and the staff, and always doing everything to make everything better.
I think Rob saw something in me that maybe I didn't even see myself at that time.
He is always there at a drop of a hat.
Rob is a fantastic broker, and there's no place that I'd rather be.
When Rob says he loves people and he cares about them, I think people know he's genuine about it.
That's Rob. He's a pretty funny guy.
Hey, thanks for coming back and taking the time to view that. It really is important, and we just wanted everybody really to know what Rob means, not only the company, but a lot of the people that work with him and for him and around him. He makes a big difference. And so once again, thank you, Rob, for all of this. You're responsible for having all of this. So we appreciate that, don't we? I mean, this is it's nice to have a voice and be on the air and talk and share our thoughts and insights and share our friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
To come on the air and visit with us. What we're going to do, though, I know, lots of breaks. But we have to thank sponsors, and we have to take care of that kind of stuff. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back, and then we're actually going to talk about a few other things of import. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thanks.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios. Listen, watch, chat. This is Webcast 1 Live. Programs on webcast1live.com are brought to you in part by KDC Builders, building custom homes for how you live. KDC will take your dreams and turn them into reality. Go to our website, kdcbuilt.com, or call Hannah Inman at 515-975-9990. And Tom Coates and ConsumerCreditOfAmerica.com. Are you overwhelmed with mounted credit card debt and feel there's no way out? Well, there is. Call 1-800-955-5765 for Consumer Credit of America. That's ccofamerica.com.
The Kincaids live here. Across the street, the Padillas. Ben and his family live here too. Ben's a RE/MAX agent, and he's a big part of this community. There are lots of reasons why RE/MAX agents average more sales than other agents. Experience, certainly. But maybe it's also because they care about the markets they serve and the neighbors who rely on them. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
Hello. Welcome back. I'm Lance Hanson, and this is Real Estate with RE/MAX, and I apologize. I just had one of our guests say something right before, and it caused me to lose my train of thought there for a minute.
Wow.
So anyway, thanks, Inga. I appreciate
Anytime,
that.
Lance,
It's,
on a daily basis
nice
for you, honey. On a daily basis.
It's nice to have you come in and share your thoughts. So anyway, there are a couple of things we want to talk about and just update stuff as we go along. We're still at 9.8% unemployment across the nation, and we're still in a flux on tax cuts and are these things going to get passed? Are they going to get changed? Right. You know, we come out and have this big announcement on how we've got this compromise and it's going to be wonderful and everybody's all excited, and then Congress goes, nah, not so fast. We need to talk about this some more because we've only had the last 2 or 3 years to talk about it. So we still don't know whether the payroll deductions are going to change and people are going to get more take-home pay. We don't know if the tax cuts are going to stay in place because there's some billionaires that get tax cuts along with everybody else, and of course that's not fair. Sort of. So I'm just mad because I'm not one of the billionaires.
Exactly,
you know?
I was going to say. Yeah.
I want to be one of them and get that big tax cut.
Some of us have a different opinion on
You
that.
know, we don't need the tax cut. We just like to have some of the money.
Oh, okay.
We're not.
You'd be glad
we're
to
not
pay
picky.
the taxes?
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
absolutely. We're not
All right.
picky.
So, you know, so some of those things, I mean, we're really in a flux, and we're going towards the end of the year, and everybody's hanging around sort of spending money. It's a little bit better in Christmas right now. People are out buying gifts and doing some of the stuff that they've it's a little pent up, you know, of demand over the normal holiday season where people, you know, they have been kind of holding back, and now they're spending some money and that kind of thing. So we'll just see, I guess, how that's going to go. The big thing, and you were here, was it 2 weeks ago when I started my rant on the mortgage interest deduction, and she's looking at me like, who's that? I get a little possessed about that because the mortgage interest deduction continues to be put on the table as a discussion of whether or not that's a good way to raise money, you know, by cutting taxes or you know, cutting the benefit off. And you know what happens with the mortgage interest deduction is that you're going to affect some 65% of the population, cause them to pay taxes on the interest that they haven't had to pay so far, right, and make a huge difference, not only for the people who own the homes now, but for future people buying it, because the relationship between rental and ownership is going to skew. Right. If that mortgage interest deduction isn't there, that's going to skew, and it's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be, you know, for my rental business, it will probably be a benefit. You know, it will help because people are like, well, why should I buy? Right. You know, I can rent cheaper, or I can rent the same, or I can rent a newer place. You know, like you did, you know, when you were, you know, being a rental, what you called yourself, a rental, what was it?
Into rental management.
Rental management, yes. Yes. I knew it had a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a title.
You did have a title?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now let me interrupt because that's what I'm really
Would you
good
please?
at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think home ownership is about a lot more than just the tax deduction that you're going to get on the interest that you pay on the mortgage.
Yes, it certainly is.
Home ownership is about a lot of things. It's about having some stability, having some interest in a place where, I mean, there's something about the word home. It's not a building. It's where you are. It's where your family is. It's where your love is. And so home ownership is more than just a tax deduction. Now, that's a great perk. I'm not putting that down by any means. We get the tax deduction, and if you're an FHA buyer and you pay mortgage insurance because you have less than 20% down, or you're just an FHA buyer, you're going to get to deduct that too. Yay for you. Fabulous thing. We like to have these benefits. But you have a place to call home. You have a place to raise your family. You have a place to, you know what, if you want to paint the walls, you know, this weird orange, you can because it's yours. You own it. And there's something about home ownership that people that have always rented, they don't fully get. They think they see it.
Oh, sure.
They think they have the idea. But once you own your first home, you go, yeah, that's what it's about. And so it's about it's a lifestyle, it's a feeling.
Well,
it's really about the feeling.
I read a study, I don't know, a month ago, something like that, and it talked about home ownership and what it actually meant. And they showed that graduation rates higher with kids that are in owned homes, in home ownership.
I think we talked about this.
We did a little bit,
yeah.
And teen pregnancy rates were lower. Grades were higher, job stability was better. I mean, it was just across the board. It was a whole litany of things that were different. And we talked then, I remember we had the discussion about, was it the fact that you could own the home that made that difference, or was it because that was the kind of people you were, so you could own a home? You know, and we battled back and forth on which way.
What's the one thing that draws people to owning a home? It's that deduction. I mean, it's great having a home and everything, but I truly think that because you can rent a house. You can rent it and call it your own.
I have, and this is really an interesting dynamic that we have in the room, because Lance, you've been in this for 20 some years, and I'm approaching my decade mark, and you guys are approaching, the early years.
A month.
So a month.
A month.
I'm almost 30.
We're approaching a month.
Almost 30 days.
Thank you very much. So it's really neat to see the different dynamics of this, but in my past and in my history with clients.
Let's not bring up your past, Inga.
Oh.
Okay,
my brother's watching,
let's just go right
stop
on.
on this.
Let's go right on past that.
So in looking at my past clientele who have become family for me, I mean, I have a very large family, because every client that I have has become a member of my family, which is phenomenal. And then, we have the black sheeps too, which is very cool. But not all of them have realized that there is a tax deduction. Sometimes it's about not paying the higher rent. Great time to buy. We are under 5 and under % for interest rates, and so you can buy a bigger house than you can rent for. What are you thinking of this? I want to know from the newbies here. From the less than 30-day newbie. What have you guys
We have
say
a buyer
about this?
like right now. He's 28 years old, and he's just purchasing his first home.
Sure.
And his biggest concern is he wants to close by end of December. Reason why?
Tax deduction.
Yeah.
I
mean, people still, looking at that like a big deal.
Absolutely.
Well, it just has to make sense. I think across the board. And I don't know whether we use it to justify home ownership.
This is the biggest purchase of your life. If you need justification for anything, it should be to buy a home.
Well, it is, and I think this is one of the things is we get we get to write that off. We get that written off. We can and then there's all the other things in there. Monetarily, it's really hard to look at home ownership and justify it solely on paper.
Right, I agree.
Just financially, it really has to. There has to be some real dynamics in it. The only way I've seen really to do it is we talked a couple of weeks ago. No, 3 weeks ago. We talked about young person buys the house, fixes it up, lives in it for a couple of years, and then resells that and gets the tax interest or tax-free money from that, and then reinvests again and does that. And there are literally people out there that's like a part-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, and it doesn't have to be young people. I say that because it tends to be more sense, and because I'm way too dang old to be messing around with that stuff. I got plenty more things to do.
Because I've never known for you to buy a house and do that with it. You're right.
You mean like fix it up and work on it?
Yeah.
Like I have been the last 2 weeks?
You've been out of the office for a while working on some stuff, Lance.
I have, yeah.
That's exciting, though.
A little crazy, yeah. We, I'm going to say we chose to put a new kitchen in our house. So
2 days before the party.
We are having
We're having a big party at Lance's house tomorrow night.
Party at Lance's house,
yes.
Yes, party at Lance's house tomorrow night, and good times. And the kitchen is done.
Yeah, almost.
No.
Are you sure of that?
Yep.
The electrician called and said we're done?
Electrician didn't know. My significant other, my lovely wife.
She's a phenomenal cook.
Yes, she
Wow.
is. She cooks up
Yeah.
storm. But she called and said that they had to put a different switch in, but
It's all good.
it's all good.
It's all good.
So that is all done. Everything is on and good to go. So
Looking forward to it.
I'd be interested to see how the lighting comes out, because I left specific instructions, and we'll see if they were followed.
Well, they're not followed in your home office, so
Well,
let's just see what happens with that.
I was hoping that at least when I paid somebody, they would follow the directions, but we'll see.
Hence, Lance.
But anyway,
Yeah.
back to the mortgage interest deduction. It is an important factor. It's an important part. It is one of those things that would be an absolute shame to lose, and part of that is that. We're all in this tax cut about, geez, these billionaires are saving thousands of dollars and they don't pay any tax and all this kind of stuff. When you think about this, billionaires don't finance their houses. They don't write off mortgage interest deduction, okay? Those are the everyday, all the time, middle-class people that are owning homes, and it's part of their financial plan to have some kind of write-off. This isn't a billionaire tax deduction.
No.
This
No, it's
is
not. It's average Joe.
a
It's
real
you and
middle
me.
class.
Yeah.
Yes. And to let that go would be just an absolute shame. So I
Call
wanted
your
to throw
congressman?
that.
Call
Absolutely.
your congressman, write your
Call
congressman, email your congressman.
Yeah, they got
These-
the email and text and all those things you can do now.
How cool is that? Yeah. I don't have to actually talk to him because I don't want to. I just want to.
I think he's on Twitter also.
Is what? Oh,
He's
on
on
Twitter?
Twitter. Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah,
Let's Twitter him.
Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tweet. You don't
Tweet them.
Twitter
You
them.
don't Twitter them.
See?
I am
Tweet
so
them.
Who's the old one now?
technologically
Yeah.
advanced.
Who's
Yay
the
for
old
me.
one now in the room? Yeah.
It's still you.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. I didn't realize that. A couple other things that I just want to go through during this segment, and I know I'm not talking a lot, but a few things we do need to get through here. Fixed rates are still the most popular loan that's out there, and with the rates, even though they have risen, I got a little sheet here that shows that we're up 0.7%.
Look, can I
or
say something
so.
on that?
No.
Okay.
Please do.
Let me just say for the last 9.5 days, because we're at the half mark, rates have moved a lot. This is my little finance thing coming in. We've seen a lot of volatility in the rate market. We've got a lot of up and not very much down. So rates are starting to move, which is yay for us agents. But if you are sitting on the fence, if you are thinking rates are going to go lower, let me just tell you, my little crystal ball here says no. If you're going to buy, get out there and buy, because rates are never going to be lower than they are right now. They're not. They're such fabulous rates. And if you're going to complain about 5%, don't call me. Call Alma. But if you're going to be excited about 5%, then call me. How's that? Or
And
Lance.
call on us no matter what. Just
call me
Call
too.
on us
Just
regardless.
call.
Just
You know
call.
what?
Just-
He's new. He's
just call.
excited.
Like, I'll
he
take
knows
anything.
the deal. Call on
Hey,
us.
look, we have an audience. Cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. Just as
Rates are changing.
Rates-
The point
rates
is,
are changing.
get out there, get it done. If you need to refi, refi. If you need to buy, buy. We've still got time. End of the year, we can get you in.
one of the things too is that, like I said, most people are doing fixed rates, but you really need to take a look at your financial situation, because there is some distinct advantages to having adjustable rate mortgages. And if you're, as one example, if you're a person who owns a home and you're like, well, I want to sell, but I just want to hang in there for a few more years, and so refi to an adjustable rate, and get that lower interest rate for 3 or 5 years or whatever. Have that lower interest rate, maybe throw a little bit more down on principal of that payment that you're used to making.
Right.
And that makes a lot of sense. Or if you're transitional, if you're one of those people we talked about, is going to buy a home, fix it up, live in it for 3-4 years, get a 5-year adjustable and let it work.
You can go as far as 10. What I want to know is, as new agents, what have you guys heard about adjustable rates? Are they scary? Do you tell your clients to stay away from them, or are you exploring them?
No, I don't think they're scary. Just a lot of clients, they don't want nothing to do with that because they're scared,
There's been a lot of bad press about adjustable rates, and I think, Lance, you're absolutely
they
right.
They get confused with the C&D.
Absolutely.
Loans.
Absolutely.
Is what happened.
And I think what you really need is you have to have absolute confidence and trust in your realtor. Number one, right there. I don't care who you work with, but make sure you trust them, you know them, and you believe in their abilities. And then the number 2 is get a good loan officer, because adjustable rate mortgages are not always bad. You have to look at the details. You know, if you can get a fixed rate for 5 years, and that's the 5-1 ARM, and that at the end of the 5 years, at year number 6, we're going to only go up 1 point. Okay, if you're at 3%, you're going up to 4. Really? Let's look at what the details really are. Let's not make assumptions.
Do you know how many fixed rate mortgages I've had? 30-year fixed?
You've had 6 a year for, no, I don't know. How many, Lance?
None. On my own personal residence, I've never had a fixed rate loan.
Oh, I thought you asked me how many adjustable rate loans you've had.
Oh, no.
You always do that, though.
No, I have adjustable rate mortgages on all my personal. On my investment property, then we try to get fixed rates longer term. But you know.
But they have 5-1 ARMs, which is a 5-year fixed rate, or 7-1 ARMs, which is a 7-year fixed rate, or 10-1 ARMs. The 10-1 ARM is very popular right now.
That's it's not bad.
And our national average is a person moves every 5 to 7 years in Iowa. 5 to 7 years.
The latest study.
7 to 10.
There
you go.
Yeah, they're
Still
going somewhere. Yeah,
10-1
7,
ARM.
8, 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take another short break. Otis, we take. It seems like, especially today, we take a lot of breaks. But we're going to take another short break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about buyer consulting and financial responsibilities and that kind of thing. And this will be perfect to fit in with Otis and you talking about maybe working with buyers. It's one of those things that has to be done. Mm-hmm. Whether you're buyer's exclusive agent or dual agent, it doesn't matter. It's one of those things. So stick with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios. Listen, watch, chat. This is Webcast 1 Live. Programs on webcast1live.com are brought to you in part by KDC Builders. Building custom homes for how you live. KDC will take your dreams and turn them into reality. Go to our website, kdcbuilt.com, or call Hannah Inman at 515-975-9990. And Tom Coates and ConsumerCreditOfAmerica.com. Are you overwhelmed with mounted credit card debt and feel there's no way out? Well, there is. Call 1-800-955-5765 for Consumer Credit of America. That's ccofamerica.com.
The Kincaids live here. Across the street, the Padillas. Ben and his family live here too. Ben's a RE/MAX agent, and he's a big part of this community. There are lots of reasons why RE/MAX agents average more sales than other agents. Experience, certainly. But maybe it's also because they care about the markets they serve and the neighbors who rely on them. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
Hey, thanks for staying streaming with us. Just as a little thing, you know this if you're listening live, but we're on webcast1live.com at the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios down in downtown Des Moines, where we are every week. We're here every Friday from 1:30 to 2:30, just bringing you the information that's out there about real estate and how it affects you individually, how it affects the area market versus the national market, that kind of thing. And as always, Alma, my co-host, is here, and Otis Skaljic is here with us today. Absolutely, brand new, I guess. It's still brand new. Agent in the business who also happens to be Alma's husband. And they've formed this team, this dynamic duo to work. And so that's exciting. And so we're looking forward to many more great things coming out of that union. Not kids. You've got two of those.
No,
right?
we're good with kids.
We're good with that.
You're good with that for now.
We're good for now.
No, they have two really cute youngins. Rambunctious, apparently, though.
Just a little bit, but I can handle it.
You can take care of it?
Bring
Okay.
it on.
Okay. Okay. And Inga Brown, who's in with us today, to just
I have no idea why I'm here. I have nothing to say today.
Well, that's amazing that
I
you
know.
can even talk then.
It never happens.
Yeah.
I know.
No, you've always got something to say.
Well, it's just not always pertinent. But, hey,
No.
I like to interrupt you because you and I have known each other for a few years, yes. And I love Alma. Alma is like my twin sister. We decided this on the first show.
Yes.
That we're like the polar opposite twins. I eat and she doesn't. She's blonde
Let's not go into the
and
eating.
I'm bottled. It just all works out. So I'm so excited about this partnership that you guys have. So could you tell me a little bit about what you're thinking about the market right now?
We think the market
It's
is
a buyer's
perfect.
market.
It's
great.
It works for us. It works for us. It's easy to get buyers for us. We have a few that we're working with, so we're very, very excited.
And are you working with a lot of first-time home buyers? Are you working with step-up buyers? Are you working with retirees? Who is it that you're working with?
We got some first-time home buyers, investors, commercial, second home buyers.
Yeah.
So we got.
So you got
bunch
like
of different
this big variety of. You're
See,
just
I'm
a little bit
jealous.
of everything. I am too.
I'm
sort of not
I'm
really.
home for the holidays, I guess.
Lance has not actually worked in so many years. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure
Lance
you
is
guys
an
are
awesome
jealous.
agent.
Let's just put the show on. Yeah.
We are
for
actually.
us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're very,
Yeah, this
very
is my
excited.
full-time gig. Is my once a week on the show. This is all I do.
Okay, so
all, yeah.
regardless of what category you would put yourself into, we can call Alma or we can call her lovely new husband. New agent husband.
Husband.
New
Yeah.
agent husband,
Yeah,
not a new
I
husband.
think
he
they've
could
been
be
together
new
for
next
a while.
week. I don't know. We'll just change him up a little bit.
New
but
husband.
new husband. He likes the new husband. Don't pick
kinda
on
cool.
me.
Well,
And-
you could just make the honeymoon just keep
Yeah,
on cranking.
just
you
keep
know?
on
I like
cranking.
That
this.
works.
I like
That
this.
works.
I like
so
that.
Yeah.
I love this whole tag team thing. I think that this is very exciting.
What's some advice that you have for us? Inga?
Anytime
Yeah,
that
please.
you can get two agents for the price of one, actually that's advice for them. Anytime you can get two agents for the price of one, go all over it. Because you've got two different perspectives, you've got two different people looking, and you've got two different people fighting.
Well, in the case with Josh and I, seriously, what be dependent on the buyer or the seller, they would blend better with one or the other of us,
Yes.
and so they had the choice.
Yeah.
Which they usually chose Josh. I don't know why that was.
Go figure.
Yeah.
My experience in partnerships, and I've had a couple of them
Yes,
that have
you
been
have.
very successful, and I have we've always parted, being still very good friends today. In fact, I talked to both of my former partners here just yesterday. But I think some of my advice is don't. This is the big don't. You need to have a don't. Don't inhibit the other. Because I think both of you will have phenomenal ideas, whether they be marketing ideas, whether they be how to find the perfect house. Because it's always about the perfect house. You want them, when they say, yeah, I'm going to take it, this is my house, you want them to say, this is my house. This is my dream. This is fulfilling everything I want. And together, I think you guys can probably do that. I think that's very exciting.
It's been working out good so far, so it's been going good. It's been going good for us.
The other thing when Josh and I first started and started working together, and we were both trying to do kind of all aspects of the business, and over a period of time, you started finding the strengths that one person has over the other one, and that kind of starts to blend a little bit. So you'll start seeing that where, Otis, you're better at this, and Alma, you're better at that.
Found
And
one.
we already found some things.
I do not like walking in the snow.
She's
what
the summer
what a
sailor
total
and he's the
surprise
winter
that
sailor.
is.
Usually it's
So-
more like one's a little bit better at listing, the other one's a little bit as a buyer's
Yeah, it's
agent.
kind
But
of-
you know,
Take it
one's a better
evenly.
winter and one's a better summer. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
You'll find that though. Maybe one's better at paperwork and more detailed and organized and wants to put that together.
One's a little more creative.
One's creative, better at prospecting. And I think as you allow each other to take on those roles of that, and rather than like try to cut it down the middle and divide up and make sure that everybody's doing their fair share kind of thing. It's more about what is going to work, so that the whole process works together. And I think you'll benefit greatly from that, where you just find out how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And
Some of our best agents in Des Moines are married couples.
Yes.
They really are. What a phenomenal opportunity.
Yeah.
Just remember to
Well, I started
don't
off
let that
as
go beyond your
by
living room
myself,
kind of thing,
and
but
then now that we joined, and we're going to be partners, and it's been going good so far.
So you don't order him around and say,
It's a lot
go put
easier.
out my
I still do
signs.
that.
Do you?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I still do that.
I think that's
No,
fine.
I got you.
I'm gonna order Lance around later, even though he's not my partner.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We'll see if he listens. I doubt it.
Whatever.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
see,
whatever.
Life's good.
Yeah, you can
Life's good.
order away.
Yeah.
Otis, what do you think about all that? I know they have this opinion going, but you're kind of the strong silent
I'm
type.
just agreeing with everything that they say.
It's just whatever.
And then follow his own rules
and
when
just
he
whatever
gets
you
home.
wanna do.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
just do what he wants as soon as we leave the studio.
That's a guy
Yeah.
thing. It's like, yes, dear, and then you
Yes,
just
it
go ahead.
is.
It's
Yep.
like, okay, I'll see you later.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's the
It's the
exactly.
easiest way.
It is, and spoken like a true married man.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know about that part. So.
I have no idea. I'm not a married man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
I
good.
understand.
It's all good.
One of the things that I did want to get on, just as informational to the people that are listening out there, is a thing. It's called buyer consultation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a thing that should be offered by any agent, whether they're exclusive buyer's agent or if they're, in any factor that they work in. Buyers consulting should be a sit down with the buyer, discussing, exactly what they're thinking. And I call it consultation, but it's more of a questioning. That you sit down, and we talked the first time that I got together with the what do you call it, mentees, the manatees,
The manatees. I think I have
Down
your
in
list.
Florida, yeah.
but it's like, okay, there's a certain amount of information that you need to work with and get from a buyer, and then you take that information and turn it into a plan of action. What's the best thing that you can do? What kind of financing is best? What kind of housing might be better? What can you afford to have? And it sometimes it surprises people. The last buyer that I closed on came in and sat down with me and said, we want to buy something like, maybe 140 tops. And I was like, okay. And so we started talking a little bit, and I found out that it had been 6 months ago when they had went in and qualified. I was like, why don't we get you back in to qualify? Because 6 months ago, the interest rate was 1.5% higher than it was then. They went in and re-qualified, and the same exact payment bought them a $180,000 home. Same exact payment. So it made a big difference. So another one of Alma's friends stopping by.
I think that you say that, and I feel like I need to caution you that we bring in a buyer and we sit them down and we talk to them. That doesn't always happen quite like that. Sometimes we show you a house and we're very observant. We're watching what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're saying it. And we're asking odd questions like, how many kids do you have? How was work today?
Well, that's the same. That's a
It's
buyer's
the same
consultation.
thing, yeah. And I think that if it's somebody that just opens the door and stands back and lets you walk and then leaves, says, call me if you want to write, you need to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that's not a consultation.
That's a I don't care about you thing.
Well,
so.
it's a thing that we've had in our business over a period of time that you guys won't even recognize. because now those people are becoming extinct, and it's what we call
Absolutely.
order takers. And business was so good. There was almost a 10-year period where literally people just got their license because it was better to sell real estate than siding. Seriously.
That's true. It really is better
yeah.
to sell real estate than siding.
Yeah, and
Sell
so
the whole
and
thing,
they
not
would
just the
they would
siding.
get in there and do that, and of course they're all gone now because now it's not, you actually have to do buyer's consulting, you have to do work, you have to look at houses and maybe even go out and preview the houses for your people because they don't get off work until 6 and it's going to be dark, and you need to go out there and see the house before they do and walk around and take a look at it, because they're going to rely on you for that information. You got to do the extra thing, go the extra mile, do all of those things. And I hear a lot of those order takers now saying, well, God, I mean, you just got to do so much. And I'm like, yeah, to earn a living, that's what people do.
That's what people do.
People go out and work for a living. And
I think I'm glad that we started at this time, because we are so new to start off doing everything that we think every agent should do.
Yes.
We have had experiences, we should say.
And you're doing the right things.
And-
You're finding out the right things, and you're giving the right answers, and that's huge.
we feel like we want to continue doing this for people forever,
yeah.
What's so excited to me is like
so-
every day is something new.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's never the same.
The same, you'll never have the same transaction twice,
Never.
which is
Right.
part of the glory and the horror and the love
all of those
this
things.
job.
All of those things. Well, look, as usual, we've run out of time before we've run out of fun. So we're going to have to reserve some of that fun for later. But anyway, I want to thank Inga. Thank you so much for coming down again and
Anytime
sharing
I don't
your.
have anything to say,
Yeah,
I'll be here.
Yeah, and it's hard to get a word out of her, isn't it? It's just,
I know, she's
come
so
on.
quiet.
She loosens up around you a little. It's a
Yeah.
good thing, though.
She's
And
great.
Otis, thanks for coming down.
No problem. I'm glad to be
It was
here.
great to have you and just have you on the air and visit a little bit and see what's going on. You and Alma got a fun career ahead of you, and it's a great thing.
Just
And
remember
so,
the possibilities are endless.
give us some phone numbers or emails or whatever contact information that is good.
Well, my phone number is 515-868-6112.
Okay.
And email address is otisandalma@remaxrealestateconcepts.net.
Okay. Otis and Alma at realestateconcepts.net.
Yep.
All spelled out.
Yep.
Okay. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing something, buying, selling, investing,
Give us a
whatever, call Otis and Alma, and they'll take good care of you. I do promise that, because I'll hear about it if they don't. So I want to thank you again. I'm Lance Hanson with Alma, and this is Real Estate with RE/MAX, and we're on every Friday from 1:30 to 2:30. We will not be on next Friday. That is per the request of our engineering staff. They actually want to have Christmas Eve off. So we're going to take Christmas Eve off. I believe that we're going to be back New Year's Eve and hang around for a little bit. So we'll see you then on December 31st. We'll be back and have some more fun then. Inga, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll
What
see
fun.
you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good time. Thanks.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios. Listen, watch, chat. This is Webcast 1 Live. Programs on webcast1live.com are brought to you in part by KDC Builders, building custom homes for how you live. KDC.